Oftentimes, when an employee is injured, it doesn't just include, say, an orthopedic injury. Oftentimes, there's also a significant amount of stress or a mental injury that occurs. So, with every injury, there's a certain level of stress that might not rise to the level of a workers' compensation injury. However, there are certain circumstances where injuries do result in emotional distress or a mental injury where the employer is responsible for those types of claims. So for instance, suppose you suffered a traumatic injury to your back or your neck where you couldn't work anymore, and that created a breakdown of your mental well-being. The insurance carrier has an obligation to provide you with treatment for that breakdown if it is related to the accident. So for instance, if you suffer from a tremendous amount of pain and you have a difficult time coping with that, the insurance carrier might schedule you to be seen by a psychologist or a psychiatrist to help you deal with those issues. And they are very real issues. So in certain circumstances, an emotional distress might arise from, say, an orthopedic injury to the spine or to the knee or to the shoulder. And those are commonplace because it is inconvenient to be laid up from an injury. But when the emotional distress rises to the level that you require treatment, you need to talk to your doctors about that. You need to say to your doctor, this is really affecting me severely mentally, and ask for a referral to a doctor so that you could be seen from a psychological perspective in addition to the orthopedic or other type of treatment that you're receiving. Because those complaints are very real, and sometimes they might feel dismissed by a family member or even your employer, but they're very real and they could have a long-lasting impact if you don't get treatment for them. So ask the doctor that you're treating with to provide you with a referral. Some types of claims that result in emotional distress don't have an orthopedic relationship. So for instance, a firefighter who witnesses a co-employee fall through the roof during a fire and die, or a police officer who has to shoot a suspect because someone's life is in danger, might suffer an emotional impact from an incident that might not relate to an orthopedic or an actual injury where the skin is cut or a bone is broken. Those are no less real than an orthopedic injury. And if you require treatment for that and you feel as if you are still struggling with that, let your employer know, and let your employer know that you want to file a claim and that you want to get treatment. The only way to get better from that type of a situation is to get treatment. And if it's work-related, you're entitled to that coverage. If someone suffers an emotional injury at work, contact the Epstein law firm and we will help you through the workers' compensation process and get you the treatment that you need and get you the recovery that you deserve.